जी बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। अस्सलाम वालेकुम स्टूडेंट्स। आज सेकंड ईयर फिज़िक्स सेकंड ईयर मैथमेटिक्स उसका जो चैप्टर नंबर 1 मैंने फंक्शंस स्टार्ट किया था उसका आगे आज कंटिन्यूटी है उसी लेक्चर की। सेकंड ईयर का लेक्चर नंबर 2 चैप्टर नंबर 1 का जो कि फंक्शंस एंड लिमिट्स नाम है चैप्टर का। आपने इस वीडियो को देखने से पहले साथ जो पहली वाली वीडियो है वो भी मैं साथ टैग कर दूंगा कमेंट्स में लिंक्स के अंदर, ताकि आपको कॉन्टिन्यूटी पता चले कि किस तरह आप फंक्शन को डिफ़ाइन करते हैं और जो फंक्शन की जो टाइप्स हैं वो क्या है। आपको याद होगा कि फंक्शन मैंने डिफ़ाइन किया था कि फंक्शन एक ऐसी मशीन है जो कि इनपुट लेती है, उसको प्रोसेस करती है और आपको क्या देती है, आउटपुट। और जो फंक्शन का जो कॉन्सेप्ट दिया था वो मुख्तलिफ साइंटिस्ट ने आपको, मैं उसमें एक लेबनीज का नाम बताया था जो कि बहुत बड़ा नाम है, आइलर का नाम मैंने आपको बताया था, आपकी बुक में सेकेंड ईयर में लिखा हुआ है। तो नेक्स्ट आज हम देखेंगे कि फंक्शन की टाइप्स क्या होती हैं। फंक्शन की बेशुमार टाइप्स हैं, देयर आर मेनी टाइप्स ऑफ फंक्शंस। इट स्टार्टेड फ्रॉम algebraic function, trigonometric functions, inverse trigonometric functions, logarithmic functions, explicit functions, implicit functions, perimetric functions, mean there are many types of functions. Today we will restrict ourselves within the types of algebraic functions only. First of all, let me tell you what are the algebraic functions, and then later on we will divide how we will see how algebraic function is categorized into further 5 types. And what are the algebraic functions? Such functions which are actually defined by algebraic expressions. Or when you say what is algebraic expression, algebraic expressions are simply the numbers and variables connected by algebraic parameters, algebraic signs, algebraic operations. And when you say algebraic operations, mean it would be plus, it would be minus. These are the two basic algebraic operation, plus and multiplication. So if numbers, variables are connected by algebraic signs, algebraic operations such as plus, minus, multiplication, division, all such functions are called algebraic functions. And in shorter word, you can say in simplest word, algebraic functions are those functions which are defined by an algebraic expression. There's a long discussion on algebraic expression and algebraic sentence. We will not go into the detail of algebraic expression and algebraic sentence. We will just restrict ourselves within the definition of algebraic functions. And what are the algebraic functions? I already told you, such functions which are defined by algebraic expressions are called algebraic functions. Now, further algebraic functions are divided into 5 types. In MCQs, you need to remember what are those 5 types. It could be a short question. What are the types of algebraic functions? Polynomial function, linear function, identity function, constant function, and rational function. Again, I am telling you there are the 5 types of algebraic functions. This is actually the first type of function, and first type of function further divided into other types which are named as polynomial, linear, identity, constant, and rational. So let's go towards the defined polynomial function. By definition, we define polynomial functions, such functions which are defined by a polynomial. Now, what is polynomial? I need to make you understand the meaning of polynomial. Poly mean many, nomial mean numbers or expression. So when you say polynomial function, in defining the polynomial function, you need to have a concept of polynomial. And what is polynomial? Let's say, consider this expression, the polynomial a n x n n minus 1 a0 x0, all these are polynomial. Now, polynomial is defined as such algebraic expression which consisting of more than 5 to 6 more than 2 terms. You can see the general form of polynomial where a n minus 1 up to so on a0 are coefficients and x is a variable. So this is the definition of polynomial. And what is the definition of polynomial? Simply you define the polynomial as, and one thing more, one thing very much important in defining polynomial. Here you need to remember, n is not an integer. N is not a decimal. N is not negative. N is not fractional. These are the basic two kinds of in the definition of a polynomial. Any algebraic expression which fulfills these two conditions is termed as polynomial. For example, 2x squared plus 3x plus 5. So this is a polynomial. If you say 2x minus 1 plus 1 over x plus 5, this can't be a polynomial, because whenever you define polynomial, x is always have the positive power. X is n is always an integer. All you need to remember. This could be anyone. These are simply constants. But when you say the power of x must always a positive. So I hope so you have a better idea of the polynomial. And the function which are defined by a polynomial is called polynomial function. Okay, the discussion has not stopped it over here on the definition of polynomial. We will see it further. The next step, the degree of polynomial. The highest power degree of polynomial. Is the highest power of the variable. Degree of polynomial is the highest power of the variable involves in that polynomial. Now, for example, if I say 5x cubed plus 3x squared plus 9x minus 5, and what is the highest power? 3. So 3 will be the degree of this polynomial. This is MCQ. मैं दोबारा again बता रहा हूँ, ये एक MCQ है. आपसे वो पूछ सकता है एक polynomial MCQ में देके, खास तौर पे एंट्री टेस्ट के अंदर, कि वो आपसे एक एक्सप्रेशन दे दे और आपसे पूछेगी what is the degree of this polynomial function. So simply you need to remember what is the degree definition of the degree. Degree is of the polynomial is the highest power of the variable involves. For example, 5x cubed plus 3x squared plus 9x minus 5. So that's why 3 will be the degree of this polynomial. Simply square, cube. For example, we can have another example, f of x 2x squared plus 5x plus 9. So this is actually the second degree polynomial function. So this was all we have a concept of polynomial function. So all such functions which are defined by a polynomial are called polynomial function, where a's are called coefficients and x is the variable, and what are the conditions that are required to be fulfilled to be a polynomial expression in mathematics. One is n must be a positive integer, mean power must be a whole number, and power must not be negative, power must not be a fractional number. So that's what all we discussed about the polynomial function. Okay, now we talk about the next definition, the next type of algebraic function, which is the linear function. Linear function is actually the type of polynomial, such type of polynomial in which the degree of algebraic expression or the polynomial is 1. Such function is called linear function. I would like to give you an example. Such function in which degree of polynomial is 1 is called linear function. And what are the example? Multiple examples you can have. For example, f of x 2x plus 5. So the maximum power in this function is actually equal to 1. So such functions are called linear function. Now let's talk about the identity function. In mathematics, identity is discussed frequently. For example, in matrices you might have learnt in 10th class identity matrix. And what is actually definition of identity matrix? For example, if A is a matrix and if you apply identity from either side of that, you actually get the same number. So this matrix is called identity matrix. And what is the meaning of identity? I mean कि आप उसको जिसके साथ ऑपरेट करें आपके पास जो असल जो प्रोडक्ट है वो वापस आ जाए. So in the similar manner, when you define identity function, so identity function reproduces the same input. What is actually the output? I mean input and output are the same. Here you can say this is input and this is output. What is actually you given input and you get the same output. The concept behind this is called identity, and when you define this in reference of the context to the function, you actually define the identity function. Mathematically we define it as, okay, for all x belongs to R such that I of x equal to x. I mean whatever you give the input you actually have the same output. मतलब आप इसमें जो भी पुट करें आपके पास वही जो है वो आउटपुट वापस आ जाएगा. तो ऐसा फंक्शन जो कहलाता है वो आइडेंटिटी फंक्शन कहलाता है. जैसे मैंने आपको इसकी एग्जांपल दी, मैट्रिक्स के केस में आइडेंटिटी जो फंक्शन होगा वो आपका जो आई एक मैट्रिक्स होता है 1 0 0 1, और इसी तरह हर मैथमेटिकल एक्सप्रेशन में जब जाएंगे तो वहाँ पे आइडेंटिटी के जो कॉन्सेप्ट्स हैं वो यही होंगे कि आप जैसे ही उसमें इनपुट देंगे जो असल आउटपुट है वो ही वापस आ जाएगी. मीन इनपुट एंड आउटपुट विल बी द सेम. क्लियर हो गया होगा? सो आई होप सो.